All right. Yep, audio looks good. So we're gonna audio mute this thing here. All right. Appreciate you guys joining, those that are coming in here. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So what we're gonna do on this live here is I'm gonna do first off a little bit of kind of TA. We'll just do some quick TA, nothing too deep, but I want to just kind of see where we're at in the range. And then what we're gonna do is once we determine the range, um, I'm gonna take a look at the ATAs and just see if I want to keep them going or not. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to come over to just kind of my stocks in general, right? So the interesting thing about the stocks is we've been falling pretty much nonstop, right? And I've talked about this. You can see the SPY has just been falling. The SPX was falling, dollars, pumping up. But it was a little suspicious, that crypto was continuing to push up, right? So if you look at Bitcoin, you can see, we had just a crazy run up, right? We marked this level of like, I don't know, a week ago that it was going to have issues breaking. So we made some calls in the room to stay short here. So now we want to just see, okay, from a crypto standpoint, where are we in the range? There's a couple things I'm looking at here because we do have some potential south that we can go. Some of the indicators are starting to show bearish, but we also have some that are starting to show some support. As we come across here, you can also see we had previous resistance levels that are now holding as support. We had this one right here that held as support really well. And then you have over here, we're holding a support again. So if this support line breaks, which is around around the 23,972, the fall should be pretty significant. I would say probably down to this level, at least around 22,600 or so. And then if that level breaks, I mean, we could see as low as this red line I have here from the previous start of this whole thing, right, where we can retest, which is as low as like 19.9. So all scheme of things here, we still have room to retest this. We obviously we can. There may be one more kind of like little push-up test before we see any more kind of pullback. So I'm going to keep that in mind. We do have more room still to fall. Even if you take this level here, if I were to mark a line here, you can see we're kind of in the middle, right? So if I believe I'm going to gain some support here, which I do think we will for at least a bit, I could probably consider starting some of my longs back up. I've been running mostly shorts, but I think we've cleared those shorts. We rode this all the way down. We did great, so we'll keep an eye on that when we're setting them up. And if when I'm choosing my direction on the coins, I trade Ethereum a lot, but I don't. I don't necessarily look exactly at Ethereum when I'm trading direction on my ATAs because when I do my ATA setups, Bitcoin's going to control that market, so that's really the main one I look at. So according to this, just quick assessment, we have our new range. We're at kind of a closer potential support around here on 23.4, and our low we can fall is around 22.6 or so. So we're kind of getting in that middle. So let's go ahead and evaluate our LTC because we know we had LTC. I had in longs and then I also had them in shorts, but the LTC I stopped the long, right, which was a great call. So I want to kind of review these. Let's review the long first. So to review these, the beauty of this technology, once you sign up for it, is we basically give you the indicator, right? So you get this indicator. This is yours. You put it on your trading view, you load it up, fully customizable. You can do all the settings. It's super simple, just this, right? Kind of like programming your own little trading, right? So what we did is just to kind of recap. We had our trades. Um, let me mute that. All right, we had our trades here. And then we decided that we didn't like this short, so we replaced it with an existing trade. When you go into the settings here and you replace it from closeout trade to existing trade, what that tells our ATA is not to take any more trades after this one closes, and it worked out perfectly, guys. For those of you that are in the room, I mean, you guys remember when I was setting this up, I think what it was like 2 days ago. And I mean, look at this, caught it perfectly. When we decided to set this up, I think we were somewhere in here. We talked about maybe just closing it at a loss. Our entries at the time were up this way, but instead, we let it roll out. Trusted the technology and look, killed it and did not take any more. So our longs are actually reset. Give me one moment here. All right, our longs are actually reset here. So this is where I want to make that decision. Do I want to try to get in here to this new range and take some longs? So I kind of do, right? So when I go into my alerts here, I have my existing or LTC long. So all I have to do is just delete my alert out, and then I can reset this thing, right? So I can come in. And now let's just go ahead and reset it. And when you reset it, you're resetting it to default as if, you're setting it up for the first time. You don't have to modify or change anything. If you did change something, you can simply go to this here and just hit reset settings. I didn't really change anything as far as what I want to trade. I still like the 2 DCA on the altcoins because I like to do the third DCA myself. And then I'm not doing the stop loss because I'm trading both directions. So the only thing I have to do, guys, super simple to set this up is I'm going to come in here and change this date. This is basically telling the ATA that, hey, I get, that we're not in a trade anymore, and I get that you've closed it, but I want you to start looking for a trade. That's more or less what you're telling it. So we're putting in the date. We got the time here. We'll go 9 a.m. We're going to do this one here as, at 7, right? So, and I get this time just from here. My UTC is -5, which matches the UTC here. I'm just going to uncheck this, check this, press OK, and I have my yellow. So the yellow symbolizes like the start, right? So you have to have this yellow one here before you actually can start your alerts to begin getting your signals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch this. Now, if you notice, it's on my very last candle. I have 11 seconds left, so I can begin to create my alert. I do this by going into my alert here. I already have my notifications and webhook set up. If you click on the notifications, there's a spot where it says webhook, and that's going to be something you get from your BotJock account under Trading ATA. Just you can make sure that that's correct when you do it. Um, so which one are we setting up, right? This is just basically we're selecting the indicator. So this one, I want to set up my long. That's what we're doing, right? So I'm going to choose long. I don't need to title this one existing anymore, so I'm just going to call it ATA LTC long. And we're going to go ahead and hit create, and guys, we're back in the game. So now my LTC is back to taking longs, is what that does. So now that I know my longs back, let's go to the alert. My LTC short shows here. Let's see, where's my long? Might take a minute to load here. Come on, come on. There it is. Took a minute. So be patient with it. I'll be honest with you guys. I move pretty fast sometimes, so I get a little impatient myself, and I go, man, did I do something wrong? Sometimes you just got to wait for it to load. So we do have it where it is active, our LTC long, so we can go ahead and get rid of this. I'm going to hit save on my chart just so that way it's all populated and saved. You do that by clicking up here. You'll see a little save button right here. So look at this. Already trying to throw a long, right? So cool. So we're gonna go ahead and mute this long. We're gonna let that one get back to work, right? Let's analyze the short. The short has absolutely crushed it, guys. It was a great call to set the short up there. You can see here we had our close candle, and I mean we've just taken 1, 2, 3, 4. We can count the oranges because these are our closes. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 trades. We're in, guys. 32 trades. Like, look at this. Just absolutely killed it. So, I still like the shorts because we do have room to go down. So I'm going to continue to do the shorts as well as ride the longs. I love LTC because if you take a look at when you're choosing your altcoin on this one, uh, you can see LTC just really plays in a range. It doesn't do anything super crazy, right? So we will get some support around here. That's why I love doing that buy right now. You can see the ATA, no matter what time frame that you're on, it's going to try to pick up how the performance would have done. You can trade this thing on 1 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, doesn't matter. I particularly like to trade it on the 1 minute. That's how I set mine up. So I'll go back to that. But our LTC is done. We're good. We're now firing our longs. We're firing our shorts. Let's get out of there. Um, and again, we'll just hit save. Anytime I see that save button, I just hit it just to make sure I didn't forget to save something. So let's move on to ETH. So ETH is one that I run all the time, no matter what. It's always running its longs. It's always running its shorts. I don't stop it. Um, I just watch it. If I feel like it's in trouble, I'll get involved. I trade the ETH one at a little bit smaller volume. I have Black Box, which is one of the ATAs that we offer. The advantage of Black Box is you can choose your volume. So with all of our other ones like Ultron, Goliath, all those, when you check us out on the website, those ones you cannot change the volume. It's preset. We do that purposely, guys, because there's a lot of new traders that come in that, I mean, if you don't know how to manage your margin or your volume, you can really get wrecked. So it's kind of a way to help you out and help protect you. So, but as you learn and you're doing really well and you're profiting, you can flip over to the black box, right? And really, I mean, you can put in, 10 BTC in here. We don't care. Well, as long as the exchange lets you do it, you can do it. So, let's see. All right, so let's go through our ETH. Just a quick check on my ETH. So I mean, I started it like I don't even know, like weeks ago, but I'll just show you kind of last couple days. You can see, it's even in longs. I mean, look at these longs. Look at these DCA points. Like, I mean, just absolutely dominated these DCA points. It almost got out here, so it wasn't a bad first DCA. Almost got out a couple times. You can see these lines for those that are new or don't really understand what you're looking at. Anytime you enter a buy, it's going to populate these lines, right? So these type of color lines is directly from a buy. When you do DCA, it flips them to these color lines, so that way they don't get mixed up, right? And so you can see as it DCAs, automatically it will choose its point to DCA and it will move its take profits with you. This graph here, each line is kind of like a rolling stop loss in a sense, right? Or trailing stop loss. So, as it comes up, it'll allow it to run, but it'll stop it on the retracement. So you can see we didn't clear our line here. This is our new entry. So we did not clear our first take profit. These take profits are built in just on choosing these right here. I use default. They're already customized to ensure that you clear your fees, which is super important, right? We want to make sure we're making money. But man, look at this. So DCA the second time here, pull my entries down, got out, boom, TP1, right back in, DCA, boom, right back out, TP1, back in, DCA, right back. I'm okay with a DCA in one a couple times, right? Because heck, we're adding more volume. That means these trades are a lot more profitable than if they just went straight to profit, right? So we're still good, man. Hey, look at it. I mean, we had you got to look at from a grand scheme of things. Guys, we fell from 1717 and we're still, I mean, our entry is 1645. We're in a downtrend, and this thing is so smart, it's actually able to continue to trade it based on the settings I've input. Um, in a downtrend, taking long onlys. I mean, that's freaking nuts, right? So pretty awesome. So we're happy with our ETH long, so we'll mute that one. I just hit these little eyeballs, it just mutes it. So that way I don't see it anymore. Now let's check out our short. So our short we know has been stuck. This one has been stuck for a little bit. It took a short like way back when we were in the 1500 range. It got caught in the pump. That's because I'm trading them both ways all the time because I'm letting it work its way out. And when it gets too far away, it's just I'm letting it sit idle. So you can see the entries are down here on 1533. So we got a little ways to go, but as long as I'm earning on my longs, I'll leave that open. We'll revisit that at some point, so I'm not too worried. So my ETH looks good. Um, let's go ahead and mute the ETH short. This is the ETH spot that I'm running. You can see if I open this up, you can see spot. So we do spot trading. Now the spot, the nice thing is we actually offer other exchanges. You can do KuCoin, Coinbase, Kraken, Binance US. You just set it up all within here. Fires right to that exchange. Setting up the exchange is pretty easy. Um, we have full tutorial videos on how to do that. But you can see all my settings in here that I populated. I have this thing DCAing all the way down. You preset how much you want to do. You could do 500 bucks per trade. You could do $5 per, or 15 bucks, I think is the minimum. Or you can do, $50,000 per trade. Whatever you want to do, right? We don't care as long as the exchange allows it. It'll process. Our servers will process it. So my spot, also in a down market, is crushing it. You can see here, my spot is a little bit different. It looks like it took a buy here and it's DCAing its way down, pulling this entry with it. Once we find our support pump up, I mean that sucker will get out. So I'm not too worried about my spot here. So ETH looks good. We're not gonna touch that one. So Matic, I want to show you guys. So I actually was running Matic from like way back here, and I was kind of kicking myself right there. So I ran it because I was playing this trend line, right? So if you go to a higher time frame here, this is the trend line I was playing from the pump up on Matic, right? And so somewhere around here, I told everybody, I said, man, it's going to reject, right? It's coming back. I'm opening a short. We did it right. We rode the short down. I wasn't sure because, you had a potential of a kind of like a, at the time, we weren't sure if it was a bull flag or something starting, right? And Matic's just been nuts, right? So I made a decision to secure my profits, which is always a great thing. Um, so I did stop it. I believe it was somewhere in this range here. Was this the 20th? Yeah. So we we wrote it down from this yellow mark here. We wrote it all the way down to this side over here. I think somewhere near this yellow support line is where I killed it because I wanted to see how as it held support. So I did not get these trades here. The ATA will just continue to run, but you can see I don't have the alert anymore on the upper part here. So I did not take those. But great run. You think about it in 4 days, had I let this thing run, I mean, it's $488. I mean, just all automatic, guys. I don't touch nothing. So we're good on Matic. So now let's think what we want to do here with Matic. See, I'll tell you guys, Matic. I want to show you guys how I choose my altcoins. Matic scares me just a little bit because it has run, let's go from the 1 hour. I mean, in an absolute tear up, right? We're kind of in the middle range. Yes, we could find some support here. So we could probably temporarily run some longs. Um, I don't mind setting it up, but I'm not super duper comfortable with it. I think we made our money on Matic. So I don't know that I want to do any more Matic. So I'm just going to close this Matic one here, and I'm going to go to let's check another pair. I tried Sol. Sol actually bit me a little bit. Um, let's try maybe Aave. Let's see how Aave is doing. See, this is when I'm choosing my ATA. What I want to see is I want to see some consistency, right? And so this one's not too bad. Um, Aave's got some room to come down on the 1 hour for sure, but it could find some support here as well. Um, Let's see, we have a support line right here, some support here. First level support's around here, 73. So if you mark these, if you're one that needs visuals, you can mark these. All I'm doing is, guys, I mean, you don't even need to be a master TA guy, right? I mean, you can tell where it's finding bounces, that's support, where it's finding rejections, that's resistance, and we just find our range. So we're kind of in the middle of the range. I haven't ran Aave for a little while, so I'll tell you what, guys, let's do this. Let's run Aave for maybe 24 hours. So you can see me kind of set this up both long and short. So what I'm going to do is, since I haven't ran it in a while, I'm going to remove the indicators and I'm going to hit save just to show you how we can start it from fresh, just starting from scratch, right? So when we come over here, anytime you remove an indicator and you want to update if there's a new version, all you do is you click this arrow here, click your chart again. It just refreshes it in TradingView. So now we're going to click our indicators. I want to show you how quickly and simple this can be. So we're going to do our black box trader. You would select any of the corresponding ATAs that you have is the ones that you would choose. Just give it a second. It's going to once it populates in, TradingView seems to be running a little bit slower today. There it goes. It's going to ask me for my email. So I have it built in a different one here. This is going to be your personal information normally. So we built in this specific account here to correspond to mine, but it has my IP. So that way, because obviously I'm streaming, right? I don't want things going that to my account. But you would just type in your Bajak account information, your passphrase that you build in there, and then you hit apply. So once you hit apply, it's going to throw that indicator to your chart. We know that we want to do a long and we know we want to do a short. So we have to do it again. So I'm just going to do it one more time. Um, it's not case sensitive, but I like to keep it small. All right, ATA, and we're going to hit apply. What this does is it puts the indicators on our chart here. So I'm going to come in here now. I know I'm wanting to trade AVE. So I'm going to hit this gear. I'm going to drop, first thing I'm going to do is drop this down to AVE. I want to know, I know this one I want to trade long. To determine my volume, again, you're going to probably have preset volumes. I just look at the price. AVE is sitting at about $84. So I don't want to trade, for the account that I have, let's just keep it at like maybe 5 AVE. So everything else is preset default. I do want to change my strategy. We have built-in strategies, guys. Um, we have the parabolic star. Actually, we this one right here, we just added. So for those of you that are in our community and you're going, hey, I don't have that one. We pushed this to Black Box a little early. They get Black Box gets like little special privileges on early releases. But this one's actually pretty cool. I kind of like it, so I'm gonna actually run this. I think on both. I just want to see how well we do with it. So I'm gonna keep this all the same. This is all our defaults. We have defaults in there for a reason. I'm gonna come across here. I'm gonna leave my DCAs again with altcoins. I don't really like DCA3, so I'm gonna take that out. So the DCA, for those who are new to trading, that's just dollar cost averaging. You're telling the ATA that, hey, if the trade does go against you, add some more funds at a good time. Adding more funds to that trade, it's going to bring that entry down because you're averaging that price of when you bought it, right? So what this number does is this is a multiplier. So this will take your trade volume and it will multiply it by 3. That's important because if you have 3 times the trade volume than what your original volume was, it's going to pull that entry down or up a lot farther, which can help you get out, right? So we use a 3 times and a 5 times for default. I'm going to leave that. The range that we have is 90 and 30. That just determines the level that it's going to allow you to DCA. So we know we're good there. So the only thing I have to do, guys, once I get to this point, is I have to populate my year, my month, and then my day. What are we? The 22nd, 9/23. Close trade on chart. I'm good with all the other stuff in here, so I'm gonna hit OK. Now I did make one mistake here, which is okay, guys. You could be sitting here forever, and this is a common mistake, so I'm kind of glad that I caught it right away, but some people get stuck here, right? And they go, "Well, I entered everything right. Where's my yellow? Where's my yellow triangle? I mean, it's all right. I don't understand, right? I got it all right. I mean, you double, you triple check everything. We are on the 1 hour time frame, which means they will not populate that triangle until this 1 hour candle is done. So we don't want to be on the 1 hour time frame. That's why we did it that way. So let's go back to the 1 minute time frame. There's our yellow. All right. Now, the beauty of this, and again, this is part of the new updated indicator we're going to be sending out for those of you who already have this. We will now make it where when you enter your close, it resets your stats. And the purpose of that is a lot of people want to see like, okay, if I run this for a day, I run this for 2 days, I want to see what did I actually earn? What did I profit, right? Without having to just figure out the math or check your account, check your balance. This thing will calculate the profit for you. So you can just, I mean, guys, we want to make it super simple to where everything that you do is just literally right here on this chart. That way, you don't have to go to your exchange. You don't have to go back and forth on the dashboard. I mean, you can just see everything here, right? It'll help you make better decisions too. So we know we closed this candle. We're looking set up to look for longs on Aave. So we're ready to create this alert. So let's go ahead and come in here. I know my webhook's still good. It doesn't change, from when you put it in the first time. So now this is the interesting part. People get mixed up on this and they say, well, which one do I choose? Well, these are just the indicators, guys. These are just these. Which one did you build? You built the top one. You know that because it says Aave. This one says BTC, right? So we're going to choose Aave. Then we're going to come over here and I'm just going to delete this and I'm going to title it. You can title this whatever you want. It doesn't have to, this doesn't matter. I like calling it ATA just because it organizes the alert. We'll call it Aave long. And we're going to go ahead and hit create. So now, if you come to your alert, you always just double check ATA Aave long. We are active, guys. That one will actively start sending trades to my account once it finds a trade. So now we're going to build the short. You can see how quickly we did that. The short, same process. We're just going to change this to Aave. We're going to change this to short. We know that we decided to do 5 volume. We know we wanted to do parabolic SAR. I'm using my BitGet futures because I'm trading on the leverage, the futures account. These trade on 50x leverage for those who are wondering. Um, and I have my built-in take profits. I know I just want to take this DCA out. I'm not running a stop loss because I'm hedging it. I'm going to drag this over so I can see. Now, some people again get confused on this, right? So I want to point this out. They go, well, I didn't enter anything and I have a yellow, right? The reason why you have a yellow is because you're still showing your longs. If it's super confusing, I'm going to hit OK so it saves my settings. All you have to do is on the indicator you don't want to see, just hit this little eyeball and then it won't confuse you anymore. So we'll come over here again. Let's finish off this. All we have to do is do the date again, 2023 to 22. The time just matches down here again. So 9/27. And we're going to close a trade out on chart. And let's go ahead and looks like that's all good. Let's go ahead and hit OK. And then there we go. So that begins our days for our shorts. So it's already closed that trade. So now if you look, if you unmute the long, we have a short and we have a long close. I'm just going to create the alert here. Now I just want to create the alert for the short because I've already created the alert for the long. We're going to go ATA Aave short. Create. And now we have our Aave long and short. We are active. So once I'm done building it, I uncheck this eyeball here, and you can see that now we're back in business. So now we can check back. I don't need to babysit this thing. I'm just going to hit save. And I know I have my 2 yellows. I'm active on my long and I'm active on my short. I've had my stats all reset. I can just come up here, close this layout, and move on to the next, right? So super duper easy. Also, when you come, uh, let's see, let's go back. Let's just, I love to keep my layouts. These are all my layouts up here organized. So we already dealt with ETH. We're already done with that. So I'm going to close that one. LTC, we're just letting that one run. We have, actually, we did activate the long. So I do like to open the long so I can see where I activated it. My shorts are still running. So let's go ahead and save that. Close that. So now I also run my live trader. So I ran this yesterday and I want to show you, it's kind of cool. So the live trader is a little different than the automated, like the ATA, right? So the ATA has built-in strategies. It's going to continue to trade, look for trades nonstop all day, every day. The live trader, you actually build in your own range. So On the 20th here, right, 2 days ago, I had started trading my day here. I set to take shorts if it crosses this line and comes back, and longs if it crosses this line and comes back. And this is how it played out. So we all 100% automated. It came up, took this short, boom, right into profit. And then it did not. What I want to show you guys, it did not take this one, but that's because of a setting I have in here. So I only like to trade these one time, but had I unchecked this, let's say I did not set it to trade one time, look at what it would have done. We would have took a short again here, and it would have got out in like TP3, right? Now, the cool part about that is it can continue to oscillate and make you more money. Um, I have so much going on with my other stuff. I like to just take one win at a time and then assess, where my range is, right? Because I don't want to trade that range forever because you can get caught. It did hit my long. See, you can see here, it just missed my setting, so I didn't take it. It did hit it on here, took my long, got out in profit, right? And then you can see it did nothing else because we broke my range, right? So it had no reason to take any more. Also, again, I think for my long, let's see, yeah, I had it set for one trade only. So let's just assume I were to take multiple trades on my long. Let's see how that would have played out. Man, that would actually did good. Shoot. So I did have one DCA in here. So it would have took one more, two more, three more, four more wins. But look, I'd be stuck, guys. That's why I don't like that, right? Those four wins would not maybe be worth what I would be stuck here. So that's why don't be greedy with it with the live trader. Get in, get your wins, set your stuff, trust your TA. So how did I set up the live trader range, and how does that differ? So when you come up here to your long, I'm setting up the pair I want to trade. I do BTC with it. I'm doing a point 0.1 on this one because I'm kind of playing with some ranges and testing. Strategy doesn't matter because you're setting your own range. And I literally just put in the day and time that I'm starting my trading day, which is right here, and I put in my price. So what I've told this in just this little bit of area here is anytime that it crosses um, down and then back in my favor below this line here, this price, I wanted to take a buy. And I determined that because when I zoom out, right, I can see this was once resistance, right, uh, across the board, and it found as also support in this area. So somewhere in this area, we found resistance and support. I was banking that we would find support one more time, right? Somewhere in this kind of zone. And you can see if you kind of come back here, right around 25, 5, we had just a ton of support. And you don't want to set it at the bottom because it won't catch it because it has to cross it and cross back. So I chose to go around 24.6 because of that point, anticipating there'd be some kind of a bounce, which it did. So that played out perfect. The live trader is super easy to set up. We do this purposely because you could trade this thing all freaking day. I have not touched or logged into my exchange and I don't even know how long. So, we can modify this. You can still set your take profits. You can make these bigger, smaller, whatever you want. You can still control how many DCAs you do. And you still can add a stop loss. And you can have it stop loss after, don't take any more trades after it hits stop loss. So fully customizable settings on this. But our live trader was a win, guys. So let's go ahead and just reset a new range while we're in here. So let's trade today. So we know anywhere around 24 140 looks like is a good spot for BTC short. So I want to show you again how easy this is to set up. So starting your day, this is just when are you starting to trade, right? So it's kind of like starting your session. So we're gonna come in here. It doesn't have to be exact, so I'm gonna put just 30. I still want to do one trade. I want to take a short if it's at 24 140. So we'll put 140, and that is all I need for that one. And you can see I got my short line here. You're not going to see the 140 because it's probably right on this red line. But basically, I have it set on this resistance. If it crosses past this and comes back down, it's going to take a short. You can see it a little bit right here, kind of starting. So now where do we want to take a long? I'm gonna take set to take a long. Let's just keep scalping these oscillations. I'm a little more nervous on the longs. We do have a little bit of bullish looking here, but let's go a little bit below, kind of like down here, so we don't get caught in case it falls. So let's say 23.9. Um, we'll do here. So let's go into our long. And again, we're going to just do the same thing. We got 2, we got 22, we got 9, 35, and I think I did the other one as 30, so we'll do that one as 30. And we said 23,900. I'm going to allow it to do 1 DCA. I don't want to do more than that. Let's do a little bit more powerful DCA. Let's do a 2 times multiplier just to help it get out if needed. And then let's do that for the short as well. We'll do 2 times. All right. So we just built our range. You can double check your range by zooming in. Sometimes the white line's behind the yellow like it is here. You can see here, so if it comes down and crosses back up, it will take a long. Now, the beauty of our technology here is if this thing just absolutely tanks, it will not take a long. It's just going to let it roll. It will not take a short unless it crosses up here. And there's a lot more advanced settings and ways you can do this. I'm just setting up a simple way. This is our range we're going to trade. So again, just like we did the other one, we're just going to come in here, live trader on this one, and then I'm going to come in here. Let me, I do have to change my webhook here, so give me one moment. All right, so I had to mute that one just because we are live here, so wrong one. All right, and we're back. So I have that webhook changed, so we're gonna go ATA live trader, and this is my long. If you're not sure, it just says it right there. Okay, and then we're gonna go and create my short. I think it's delayed because it's creating it. Let's see. Yep, ATA Live Trader Long. There we go. And you can click this little clock here too. It doesn't matter. Either one works. So we're going to hit our short, and then we're going to come over here. Oh, did not close all that, did it? All right. So we're going to say, call this one again ATA Live Trader Short. So think about this in 3 phases, right, guys? You're dealing with the layout, you're dealing with the indicator, and you're dealing with the alert. The layout is kind of like I was using this analogy the other day. The layout is kind of like a piece of paper, like if you're writing a letter, right? You need a piece of paper. Well, this is your layout, right? That's your paper. The indicator here is like the content of the letter. You are writing the letter. What do you want the letter to say? Now, the alert is kind of like the mail. You're sending it. So you can write this all day, but if you don't send the alert to our servers, we have no way to process it, right? So think of it that way, like you know, your piece of paper is your layout. You can create layouts in here, right, to put the indicator on. The indicator is like your content of the letter, and then you send it by creating the alert. So you definitely don't want to miss that step. But we're active on here. I'm gonna hit that little save button, and then I'm just gonna close this out. I don't have to touch it at that point, guys. I know, this one, we're 38 minutes into it, just kind of showing you guys some of the stuff, how I choose to do the ATAs. I'm just gonna let it work. You can see we've already, if you look at the log here, we've already taken some trades. We already popped into, oh, actually I closed it. Look at this close order. So you have the ATA LTC long close order. So it took a LTC short, it closed it already, and it looks like it took a LTC long. Earlier, these were a lot of the stuff that I was trading on it. 100% automated, guys. I don't touch it. Like, I mean, I spend 10, 20, 30 minutes into my time. I mean, when you get good at it, you can do all of this in a matter of like 5 minutes, right? You just spend that time on it, and then I go about my day, go work, go do other things. If you're someone who has a 9 to 5, you get up in the morning, You set your direction, do your quick TA, trade one pair, two pairs, five pairs, whatever you want to do. You can trade as many as you want, and then you go to work. And then when you get home from work, you sit down 5, 10 minutes, assess whether you want to keep it going or you want to secure your profits. It's that easy. So let's see. Yeah, if you want to make more, so it depends. So when you say the 50% cents per trade, it depends what you're referring to. So if you're referring to the futures, you might have Ultron, right? So think about it this way. Um, I'm going to say a saying that CK told me a while back. Everybody wants to get rich, but nobody wants to get rich slowly, right? So if you're the way that our if you're using a predefined volume like Ultron and you have $1,000 in there and let's play with some math here. Right. Okay. So you have $1,000 in there. Let's say you're making 50 cents per trade, right? And let's say you do 10 trades a day. You made $5 a day, right? Now, that is if you just went from entry to close. No DCAs, you didn't add volume, none of that, right? Um, yeah, and I'll address spot too. Um, but if you think about it, if you times the $5 a day, right, times 30 days, right, you have $150. Even if it's just basic trading, no DCAs to add any volume, right? And so if you have $1,000, right, and then you're making $150. I mean, you're making 15% of your account, each month. Obviously, you have your membership, right? But we have other ways to combat that too. Now, the beauty of spot is, I'm glad you mentioned that you can make the volume whatever you want. If you want to earn more, increase the volume. Because worst case, the market drops, you own the coin. It's not like you get liquidated. That's why we opened up the spot, because we wanted to have it have the ability to let you be aggressive with it if you have a pair that you love. So um, so when you have I'll address that 1 second here, Papa Bill. So the when you have a pair like let's say ETH, I don't mind activating an ETH because what's going to happen? Two things. Either A, it's going to continue up and I'm going to earn a ton of money, or it's going to fall and I'm going to earn a ton of ETH. Either way, I'm good with it, right? So if you want to increase the wins, how much you're earning on it in spot, you just simply go to the section where your volume is. So like if I open up my ETH one back here, and you see my spot here, right? If I want to increase that, you just increase the amount per trade. The higher you do per trade, the more you're going to earn per win. Now, if you get greedy with this, though, you have to have the money to sustain it. So whatever you're doing on your trade amount, right, you have to have that amount of money in there to cover the trade. Otherwise, we're going to attempt to execute it and nothing's going to happen. It's just going to kick back, right? So, make sure that you're doing that math. It's not hard to do the math. You simply um, you take the entry here. This is entry one, and then you take the DCAs. So I have a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6. Like you add all these up, times it by your trade amount, and that's how much money you have to have in that account. Otherwise, we won't be able to execute the trade, right? Um, but you can definitely be more aggressive on spot, by increasing that. Um, so Papa Bill, I'm going to address yours really quickly. I know we have a lot. We're actually rebuilding the training videos. I think that's going to help you on this, but I'll help you out real quick. So doing the DCAs. Let's say I don't want to mess this one up. So let me do this real quick. Hold on. Let me go to make a copy, and we're going to call this ETH ATA copy. This way I don't mess up my ETH ATA. But this is a good example here. All right, so now if there's two ways you may have to do this, and I'm gonna show you the easier way and then the harder way, Papa Bill. So I hope this helps you out. And you can mark, I think we're 43 minutes in if you have to watch the recording later. So if I want to turn this one to an existing trade, but it's more complicated because we have DCAs. The simple way to do that is you take the trade, right? So we know we enter the trade on this candle. So we're going to zoom in. So we want to populate an existing trade using this same candle, right? Because I know all my settings were the same. I haven't changed it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to find this candle, which is right there, and I'm going to go one candle back, which is 22.17 on the 20th. So now all I have to do is come down here and I can do my close trade or enable existing trade. So 2023, and we said, what did we say? 220, yeah, 20, and then we said 2017, and then I put in 2017, and then I click enable existing trade, and you're going to see this will flip to a teal. Basically, you do one candle before. Did I do that right? Yeah, the 20th. Oh no, 22.17. That's why I didn't do it. So you do one candle before because it's going to always throw a close on whatever time you put here, and then it's going to throw the buy on the next candle. So wherever your buy is, you want to populate that in the same exact spot. And what it did is, if you look, it already put me back in the DCAs. All the DCAs still match. My take profit's still the same. It didn't change anything because it's the same buy. It's the same settings. I just simply put it as an enable existing, right? And then all I do from here is just create the alert and I'm good. As long as this matches what actually happened and your take profit matches actually what your take profit should be, meaning easy way to determine that is like 1662 is my entry. If you go to your ATA, Bodjock ATA dashboard and you see that you have a 1662 entry, you're good, right? That's the quick way to do it. If you do see you're in a trade, you're just trying to reset it. Now, let's say you don't know where that trade is. You don't see that, right? And let's say, we're two DCAs in already, and we want to allow it to do one more DCA, but we don't know where the entry is. Let's throw out a weird entry. Let's say our I don't know. Let's say our take profit is we're in a long, so I want to push it up a little bit. So let's say our entry is at like 1680 right here. Okay. So what we're gonna need to do is, because obviously, right, if this thinks, actually, you know what, let's go higher. Let's get it out of there. Let's say we need to get our entry to 1730, right? So we don't like that because the ATA thinks that your entry is here. So it's going to take profit at this line, 1670. Well, if our entry is 1730, heck, I don't want it to take profit at 1670, right? That'd be nuts. I don't have to modify any of this stuff. I just have to push these TP lines up. At the end of the day, guys, a lot of people seem to really overcomplicate things. All the ATA cares is that you're in a trade or you're not in a trade. It's either looking for a trade or it's looking to close a trade. That's it. When it's looking to close a trade, if you're in a trade, all it cares about is where are you allowing me to close this? I'm going to do my magic, but where do you want me to close it? That's these lines here. So to manipulate these lines here, you're just simply changing these values, guys. That's it. So if you want to manipulate these, like let's say I want this to go above 1730. All I would do is the way I suggest to people is zero these out so you're not dealing with, ton of lines. And then let's throw this one out there at like 600, which was TP7, because we know we want to go pretty high. And I'm going to hit OK. See how it took all those out, right? Now you can see it moved it all the way to here at 600, 1762. Well, we don't need that high. So I'm going to come down and just lower that sucker a little bit. Let's try 400. When you put in the value, if you click anywhere in this black space, it'll allow it to populate. All right, so 1728. So we're almost there because we said 1730 is our goal, right? So let's do 425. And then let's click on the black space. Let's see where this populates. Now we're $3 above that. That's in profit, so I'm good. Then I come in here and just add 50 because that's around the default too, right? So 475, 525, 575. Oh, I did that. I skipped one. 500, 525, 550, 575, and this one I make a little bit farther, so we'll say 700. And then I just hit OK, and look, I just built my entire take profit range. So what did I just tell my ATA? I just told my ATA, you're in a buy, you've DCA'd twice, I get that. I want to let you DCA again, right, which is past this line. So we'll leave that. But I don't want you to kill this thing until you get up here because this is not my true entry. My true entry is 1730, right, which is right here. So I just moved my take profit line. So this ATA now will not close this. It will still continue to DCA, but it will not close it till it gets up into this area. Now, let's say um, I want to use another example. Let's say you completely muffed up and you don't even know, like the DCAs aren't even there. You've closed your you forced your close sooner. So let's say you forced your close right now because you don't know where your entry is, you don't know where anything is, like you're freaking out, right? Um, this is another last scenario I'll cover. So let's force close this. Actually, let's do a minute back so I don't have to wait. All right, so let's force close this like right here because you don't know where it is, right? Okay, so now we're force closed. We already pushed it in the force close, so now it thinks it's in a long. So now I'm in a long, but remember, my settings from this long, we don't care if this matches our entry. We'll allow this to DCA all these times. So if I don't want it to DCA all these times, let's say I've already DCA'd, 3 times like this, right? We've already hit DCA 3. All I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck because I only want it to DCA 2 more times. So I'm only going to leave 2 right here. But now the trick is I've already executed this one. I've already executed this one. And I've already executed this one. So I want this one and this one to stay in play, right? My Mac keeps changing that value. So all I have to do is take this value, copy it, paste it here. Because these are the ones that I want it to execute, not the other ones. Paste it there, right? Then I'm going to take my value here, copy, paste, take my value here, copy, and paste. And then right, and then we just do the same process on the take profit. So the outcome is the exact same, but what I've just told this now is, hey, you're good to DCA, but only at the levels at those higher levels, right? Because I've already executed a lot of DCAs. Now you can see my take profit lines did shift, right? They're somewhere in here. If these match, great. If they don't, again, just modify the take profit area and push these to wherever you want to make sure. Because again, all the ATA cares about right now is that you're in a long and it's going to kill it anytime it reaches above this line. If that line is not your profit, you need to just come in here, go to the profit section and push these values up. That's it. So hopefully that helps answer your question, Papa Bill. If not, I do have a ton of we have a really some cool stuff on our training that's coming out. I'm actually working on later today, all through the night. So expect tomorrow to see the training library be very, very different. And I think it will help you. Part of what we've have gotten on some of our feedback is, you know, less is more on the videos, right? So we want shorter videos, more categories. So that way you can look in the categories and you can come down and say like, right? Because I mean, Pablo, you'll probably agree, right? If you sit there and you say, this instance, for instance, right now, you had a question about DCAs. Well, you don't want to watch a 40-minute video trying to figure out where in that video it talks about DCAs, right? You want to find a headline that says how to fix my DCAs. In a little 3-minute video, right? So we're actually going to rebuild that whole thing. I think it's going to be cool. I think it'll help you guys out to where you can find a lot of these answers a lot quicker instead of having to wait. Yeah, see, I know we're on the same page. So we're going to continue to work to rebuild that. I'm going to work hard today. I have a meeting at noon, so I do have to cut off here soon because I got to get ready for it. But once I'm done with that meeting, I come back. That is like my sole focus today is just to bang out the redoing the training videos and keeping them short and sweet. I'm going to be pushing a lot of that training onto my YouTube because we have a lot more space there, right? It's endless. But the links and stuff you'll find inside the circle still as far as how to connect to them. So I think you'll like how that's organized. So this is just a copy layout, so I don't need to deal with this one. So I'm going to close that. This one I left all the same, so I'm going to close that. Our ATAs are back in action, guys, and you can see. Look at this. Sorry, I was on my call here, team, so I didn't put out this short. But look at this short, man. TP4. Hopefully, some of you guys um, caught that drop there. So let's see how the stocks are doing. Yeah, see, stocks are not doing too much. They're trying to push up, but it's not looking good. The Dixies wanting to climb here, finding some support. So we'll see what happens today. My suspicion, without going deep into the TA, is we pumps and dumps come in threes. We had our fall. I think that we might see a little bit of volatility today, a little bit of a push up, possibly even before we see another layer of fall. It just really there's so many factors that depend, but I'll show you one real quick before I cut off because I think we're almost to the hour. This is the level that we've been talking about in our room. This is the market cap on the 1 hour. This is the 200 EMA, and this is a heavy support. Like we called this bounce like well before it even happened. But remember we talked about when we fall below this and we start to act as resistance, this sucker is going to fall and it's going to fall fast. So not only are we below the line, but we're fighting this EMA. So I don't know. We could see, unless this gets reclaimed, we can see a pretty sick drop. Now, we could easily double bottom here, have another breakout, right? Kind of retesting these areas before the fall. It doesn't have to happen directly, but unless we reclaim this line here, we're gonna be heading south. So, a big thing to watch if you're in my room, guys, a little nugget is these EMAs. When these EMAs, you can see there, this is I have the 200, the 20, and then, the other one's from the indicator, which I think is the 50. So when these cross down below on the 200 and we get that death cross, I want you to look at that. We haven't had that death cross or cross at all since like back here, right? And look what happened when it did it. So, if these start to cross under there, I'd hang out on the short side of things. Um, yeah, I run it on the 1 minute. Well, I'll be honest, you're running spot, so spot can be ran on the 1 minute to get scalps if you wanted to just in and out, in and out, in and out. But check out other time frames because spot has some cool trades on like the 5 minute or even the 15 minute, but I'll give you a little nugget of information. If you're going to do the 5 or the 15 minute, bump those profits up a little bit because you're not going to trade as often. So you don't really want to use default profits at like 25%, 50%. You want to bump that up a little bit to maybe 50, 100, 150 like that, because then that's going to give you a little more profit on that trade. So I hope that helps you out. I do got to cut off, guys. I got my meeting here. I got to get ready for, but I appreciate your guys' time. I hope that helps you guys out, and we'll check. I'm gonna do another live maybe later tonight or tomorrow morning for sure to evaluate kind of where my ATA is. If I'm letting them leave, I'll just let it roll. But if I decide I want to make any modifications, sometimes I'll do the modification then upload the video to YouTube. So if you're not subscribed to the YouTube, please do so. It's just the ATA underscore trader. And that'll have all the information in there and how it's kind of my journey on how I'm doing my trades is the purpose of that YouTube. So again, appreciate your times. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off here, and you guys have a great rest of your day.